I think you've mentioned also the framing of why Unilever embarked on this journey, really from a business and outcomes perspective. But how did you get started then?
Yeah, it's really important to start at the top. So when you bring in those leaders along, um, it sounds sometimes counterintuitive when you have leaders to let the team experiment, and almost those grassroots teams really give you um, those successes, those wins. So when you let people try it out, you're going to have pockets of the organization that are really interested in doing so. And my advice is let them try, let them experiment. It's not going to change the entire organization, but it's going to give you those wins and those success stories to kind of pique the interest of those leaders. And then getting started, as you mentioned, we used a credible third party at the beginning because we need to learn. This was a space we didn't have the knowledge of. But once we started piquing those interests, and we also, it sets the expectation. So when you're thinking about doing your first QBR, quarterly business review, they're bumpy, and that's the expectation. If you talk to any expert in the field, they know it takes a few cycles to get into that. But if you're working with a very senior leadership team, they might expect kind of perfection out of the gate, right? So it really helps set those expectations. One thing we also did is reverse mentoring, which I thought was a really unique opportunity that we did. So having those pockets, we knew whose door to tap on and say, hey, can we have so-and-so listen in on what you're doing and really showcase this? And the team loved it because then they got to showcase their work to senior leaders. And then when you look at our having, who wouldn't like your CEO to sit on and see the work that you're doing? And when we had the direct teams do this, they actually got to see it live on how it was applicable to their business. So that was kind of the start of it. And then the other piece that was really important that I would say is have a champion on that team. So sometimes you don't always have a seat at the table if you're an agile coach or someone doing that. But if you can get an ally on that team and have, whether that's the CHRO, the CFO, strategy director, somebody sitting on that business who knows it, who are already vetted and validated in the eyes of the leader there, they're going to believe you and they're going to believe them and buy into it more. So there's Agile definitely starts and stops at the top. So step one was to get the leadership involved.